Hey guys, welcome back to Roundtable Talk. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing amazingly well and thanks for joining me. So this is a bit of a surprise drop actually. It sees Chris Brown partnered with Young Thug on a mixtape called Slime and B. It's a bit of an odd pairing. I'm not really sure how their two sounds are going to sort of intermingle. Obviously Chris Brown has done a few collaborative albums in the past, always been a little bit more, I'd say, grimier, obviously not the genre, but like grimier in sound than any of his studio albums. So he's more like traditional R&B stuff. I find both Young Thug and Chris Brown both quite inconsistent at times. I've enjoyed many Young Thug projects. I've enjoyed many Chris Brown projects, but there's tracks that I don't like from them, appearances from them that I haven't enjoyed. Really interesting to see if we get, I think we probably will get a fair bit of rapping Chris Brown on this. I could be completely wrong. Just really interested to see what these two sound like together. Also very appreciative that it's only 13 tracks. It's obviously a mixtape, so I did expect when I first heard about it that it would be a bit on the long side, but 13 tracks, fantastic, perfect amount of music as well. Yeah, I'm just excited. I really hope there's at least a couple of bangers on here. Before I get into the reaction though, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and please do follow me on all the social links below. I'm just going to show up now and get straight into it. First track is called Say You Love Me. Let's do it. Definitely the sort of sound I expected so far. It's alright. It definitely sounds like one of those cuts that you get on So Much Fun from Young Thug's recent project. Bit of bounce obviously to the beat as well. Young Thug's doing typical Young Thug stuff. Young Thug creates so much music. I do wonder how much thought goes into some of it just because there is so much of it. At the moment this sounds a little bit of a throwaway. Interested to hear what Chris Brown does with the beat though. I can imagine Chris Brown killing this hook though. I thought Chris Brown's appearance on that was great. Definitely came in sing rapping, which I love, which I think he does really well. The guy just has like incredible vocals, a lot of charisma on the track, and the verse itself was pretty filthy in content, but also the skill in which he does that sort of sing rapping thing is pretty cool. Yeah, enjoyable intro. Nothing too amazing, but yeah, enjoyed it. Let's see what the next track's like. It's called Go Crazy.
Got me thinking, babe. Tell me if you with it, 'cause I'm with it, babe. Gucci and Prada. Trip crib in the middle of the night. I know that you miss me as I put it down right there. It's amazing. Ain't nobody got to go crazy. Some
Vintage Chris Brown stuff. Sounds like something you'd hear on one of his like older albums. Enjoying this one a lot.
I could tell you that it only made up. Black and gray diamonds like we're made up.
This is a great song. Those two sound really good together. Reminded me a little bit of Chris Brown and T-Pain, who are an undefeated duo. But yeah, Young Thug and Chris Brown sound really good together. Surprising amount of chemistry there. The way Young Thug sort of entered that song and slid on the hook. Yeah, big fan of this one.
Crazy, I got what you need. Everybody think you shy, but I know you a freak, little baby. Yeah, I put it down, watch me put it down, put it down.
Go Crazy is a great song. Wasn't expecting too much from this mixtape. As it is a mixtape, I wasn't really sure what level of quality we were going to get, but that track was album quality for sure. I could imagine that one doing pretty well on radio as well. Their chemistry is pretty good, actually better than good, I would say. And Young Thug seems to be bringing out that, as I said before, that filthy side of Chris Brown that we often do get on his mixtapes, like on some of his work with Tiger and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, I hope that level of quality maintains all the way through. The next track is called Trap Back, featuring someone called Major 9. Not heard of them before, so let's hear it.
Trap back jumping on, wanna hear nothing. Red bottoms on the right way. Yeah, our back like we fighting. Track back jumping on, wanna hear nothing.
Pretty weak track, I thought. Didn't really enjoy Track Back. It's just the kind of rapping Chris Brown that I don't particularly enjoy, and I thought Young Thug put very little effort into his verse on that. Beat was pretty generic, and I don't know who Major 9 is, potentially the producer, as they sometimes get featured on a track, but not one I want to come back to really. Next track is called I Got Time, and features Shad the God.
Wake up, you don't cover your face up. Oh, makeup, you don't need no makeup. You perfect. 'Cause I got time. I got time. Yeah. I got time. I got time. We're second my nuts. I got the key to shit pimpin', man. I'm never falling in love with a slut.
Thug flowing.
I gotta tell you, yeah. Drinking on green, yeah. Feel like it's fine, yeah. The big fine, yeah. Triple my cups, triple my doses, I'm tripling up.
Another okay track. I thought that Chris Brown was, a little bit generic on it. Hook, again, not too strong, but Thug was absolutely flowing on that. And also, is Shad the God another name for Future? Sounded very, very much like him. Well, not as good, but yeah, sounded like him. Next track is called She Bumped Her Head, and features, frequent Young Thug collaborator Gunna. Yeah, excited to hear what Gunna's got to offer, what he's going to bring to this. I do think he's got some really standout verses, and I thought Drippin' Drown 2 was a really solid project as well. So yeah, let's just get into it.
My little shawty had bumped her head, and I steady been whipping her. If I roll it with them, please. If a nigga can't put his shit on, gotta get all the premises. I just came from the crack in the dawn. It's a new sherry. Had to roll the 2 tones on the same day, cause these niggas been tripping.
That beat's crazy, man.
No, that's when we smoking, we did it like this. Yeah, when we fuck with me, home make a dish. I just been playing with these bands. I open my hand and nothing but bands. Now why I say big as your pants.
Thug is floating.
I'm cool as a fan, you play with my man, and we come and take your land. Gold chain, that remind me of more. Got a Louis V shirt and better change, should've seen how I was. I call those slides of the
Not the strongest Gunna verse, especially after that craziness that Young Thug just did on the first verse. Christ. Strong hook though as well. Go on, Chris.
No, these niggas do it for me. I never shot one. And watch her get on her knees. Give me that rubber. I had bumped her head, and I steady been whipping her.
So I saw a tweet this morning hating on Gunna, and now I think it's probably because of that verse, because Thug and Chris Brown absolutely killed that. Like that's one of the best tracks on the project so far, up there with Go Crazy, which I enjoyed as well. Yeah, crazy beat, flows for days. I love when Chris Brown does that sort of crooning, that sort of like half singing, half rapping. I think it works so much better than his pure rapping. But yeah, that song's going on the playlist for sure. Next track is called Big Slimes.
Keep it real, baby girl, on the one you can bang with. Yeah, keep it real on the one, not with the bang with. Like a desktop. Thanking the Lord that my nigga made out of the setup block.
Another fantastic beat as well. A lot of these beats sound like we're on So Much Fun, and Thug just sounds in his absolute element. But as I said before, Chris is also killing it.
Squirt on the titty, man, she thinks she knows us. And I keep her for it on my, you know.
Background vocals.
You know. Big drip on me, BB's on me, congratulate myself. Got that on me, live like Tony, AR on the shelf. Take me away, wanna blame me, these bitches be crazy. Blessing, come calling me baby, teach you a lesson. Got a good car, pull out, skirt with you.
I mean, you can say what you want about Chris Brown as a person, but Christ, that man is a star. I tell you, like, I don't know whether it's just me, but on this mixtape, I feel like he stepped up his delivery so much. He always has great delivery, I think, but on this, I just feel like the energy he's bringing, I guess Young Thug's bringing the energy out of him as well. You have to be energetic on a track with Thug, but Christ, yeah, like, I'm so impressed by Chris's sort of sing rapping. It's really, really good.
I hit some rust in the 80, I'm on a 30 beat, I got an addition to fashion, shopping in Harrods, got this money, we about to get married. Fix your attitude, I ride with a bad bitch, you talk to the big slime, different scores with a big time.
Really strong track. The hook from Young Thug is brilliant. As I said before, Thug and Chris, I'm so surprised at how good they sound together. The chemistry is off the charts, really. Could do without the Gunna and Lil Duke verses, to be perfectly honest. Gunna's verse was better on this track than it was on the last, but they just feel a little bit unnecessary. But yeah, another strong track. That's I think that's 3 so far that I really loved. The next track is called I Ain't Tryin. Not sure about this one. I feel like it's Young Thug being brought into Chris Brown's kind of world, and I'm not sure this really fits. The beat's interesting. I feel like this track already just suits Chris a lot better than it does Thug. But yeah, let's see what the rest of it sounds like. Yeah, like I said, it does feel a bit like a Chris Brown song, but both of them singing the hook together sounds really good. Like I said again, the chemistry, the way their voices sound together, really surprisingly good. I'd describe Ain't Tryin as pretty solid. Like I said, definitely sounds like a more of a Chris Brown track. But yeah, the 2 singing the hook was great. Not one of my favourites, but not one of the worst either. Next track is called Animal. Chris makes everything sound good. I don't know how he does it. Another really good track. That one definitely was, again, in Chris Brown's sort of world, but I thought Thug fit really well. I thought his verse was pretty fantastic, flowing really well. And I'd also say Thug's verse a little bit less, but Chris was a fair bit heartfelt on that one. Obviously the hook sounds as though that they're just talking general stuff, but he talks about sort of the negative sides of the rapper / singer lifestyle. Yeah, so far shaping up to be a very good project so far. Much better than I was expecting anyway. Next track is called City Girls.
Yo, finally got a reason I can stay home. Pretty little thing for me to wait on. That's how she get it. Made a couple racks, I never asked how she did it. City girls like to have fun in the city. City girl like to let you fuck on a titty. Yeah. City girl like to let you bam on a titty. City girls like to stare at me. Just have fun in the city. All I want for you to do is leave your friends and get missing.
Every single time I listen to a Young Thug project, his flow is unbelievable. Like, he shouldn't be able to rhyme the way that he does on this. I feel like he could actually rhyme on anything. In the same way that Chris can sing anything, Young Thug can literally manipulate his voice to fit pretty much any beat. He's rapping rapid fire right now on pretty much an R&B ballad. Thug is just flow genius, honestly. Bit of guitar as well. Another really good track. I feel like I'm saying that over and over again, but there's not much that you can really say about these. Like, I came into this mixtape expecting some real duds amongst some good tracks, but every track is very solid. There's probably one that I would say was bad, or not even bad, just I didn't really enjoy, which was Track Back. But so far, wow, like a very solid project. I kind of wish that this was an album, really, potentially with a better title. But yeah, maybe this is just testing the waters. Maybe we'll hear from them again. The next track is called Stolen. Let's hear it. That bass line's crazy. This beat is nuts. That weird twinkling guitar in the background, that bass. Again, like, some of the production on this has been really good as well.
Overdrawn on my memory, they can buy back my time. But you just trying to right. Don't think you subtract. Keep this shit real with me, I do the same back. I started loving you, not the first but the second.
A great Thug verse. It started off a bit shaky for me, but as he switched up the cadences a little bit, really started to get into that.
TikTok, come sign the Cindy, baby. No, for real. I just wanna get.
Stolen's a solid one, not too crazy about it. Some of Chris's lyrics at the end there leave a bit of a bad taste, literally saying come and sign this NDA, this non-disclosure agreement, to whatever girl he's singing to. Bit dodgy, that one. Let's just move on. Next track is called Undrunk and features two legends, Too Short and E40. I'm feeling like, considering who's featured on this, it's going to be a party track, surely.
A1 is beats. I'm too lit. She fucked up. Get undrunk. Ay, she too lit. She fucked up. And make it pop. She a hickory dickory dock. She do freaky things up that the king.
Obviously, it's only like about a minute in, but I know I'm not going to like this song. Just feels like a generic club song that, you know, they feel like they've just had to throw on here. I don't like the way Chris raps on this, and some of the lyrics are quite ridiculous. But anyway, let's see what the other guys bring to it.
We wish that we could get undrunk.
Awful lyrics.
She hella smart and she got ass like her auntie, yeah, that part. I ain't a sucker, I ain't a weirdo, I ain't a goofy, I ain't a clown.
I know E40's a legend, but the way that he raps is so funny. So funny.
Throw a bitch in the air and break her before she hit the ground. When I was in elementary, I was quiet. My pockets was on the diet. She's a freak, short dog. You know me, I got her playing with her pussy in the VIP. She sound like a...
So I was saying before, I was really expecting some bad tracks on this record, and this is one. Thankfully, it's taken until track 11 to get a really, really bad track. I kind of expected the whole mixtape to be a bit like this. So thankfully, it's just the one so far. We do have 2 tracks left. And also, I don't think Young Thug was actually on that record. But yeah, just not the best. A generic attempt at sort of a Bay Area club song. Just, yeah, not for me. Next track is called No Such Thing and features someone called Hoody Baby. It's a very short track, so it potentially could be an interlude.
Fat fly nigga, real drink sipper, 100 down Vegas with 100 bad bitches. See yourself, I'm a dip, cause only 2 bitches satisfy my dick.
No such thing as too many drinks. Let me rub it. Lately, been spending money like fuck it. I never trust her, but gon' bust it. For a sucker. Hop up on my dick, lick the tip, need a nasty motherfucker. A bad bitch to get her.
Don't know who Hoody Baby is, not a fan. And again, just seems to be, as soon as Young Thug's disappeared, the quality's disappeared from this project. This project really should have stopped at track 10. These last 2 just feel really tacked on. I'm not sure if they're bonus tracks or not, but they just feel very try hard, very out of place. Yeah, didn't enjoy those. Like I said, once Thug has disappeared, it's really not worked for me. Hopefully he's on this last track called Help Me Breathe. I do hope that this is a solid way to end out the project and we can just kind of ignore that those last 2 tracks even happened. Who's that in the background? Is that Future?
Helping me breathe, weaken my knee. I brought powder cause I'm proud of you to keep it a G. And they took side tears looking like brothers.
You should kill it.
Up that poof you put around on your motor. You helping me breathe.
So that's the end of the project. Please do correct me if I'm wrong, but those last 3 tracks definitely felt like bonus tracks, purely because we didn't see Chris and Thug together on any of those tracks. I thought Help Me Breathe was a good, not great outro after the last 2 tracks that I really didn't enjoy. But yeah, nice to hear a surprise feature from Future. Didn't list it where I'm playing it from, but yeah, it was nice to hear from him. Him and Thug usually work really well together, and they do there. I'd say on the whole, I did really enjoy that project. overall, I went into the mixtape with quite low expectations, to be perfectly honest, just because, you know, both of these artists are quite inconsistent at times, but they have a surprisingly good chemistry. Their vocals seem to meld together really well. I thought both of them probably performed at equal levels throughout. I came into this project looking for, you know, a couple of bops, a couple of bangers, and instead I got, I'd say 9 out of 13 of those tracks that I will definitely be coming back to. I really enjoyed them. My favourites were probably Go Crazy, She Bumped Her Head, Big Slimes, and Animal probably. But yeah, a very, very solid mixtape from these two. I'm interested to see if we do hear from them as a duo again. I think there's definitely potential there for an album. There's obviously, you know, lyrically, I don't go to Young Thug or Chris Brown for great lyricism, but the songs are put together well. Production is surprisingly good as well. I'm impressed by Chris's sing rapping, and Thug always impresses me with flows. So yeah, overall a great project, one that definitely I think was going to have a lot of replayability. Apart from, for me, those 2 tracks towards the end, Undrunk and No Such Thing, I'd probably say those 2 tracks are pretty terrible. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this reaction. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone's staying well. I hope everyone's staying safe and staying at home. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment as well. What was your favourite of the tracks on here? Who do you think performed best, Young Thug or Chris Brown on this? That being said, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.